Welcome to The Explainer. Right now, we're in the middle of a massive AI gold rush. But what if I told you that most people are digging in the completely wrong spot? Today, we're going to look at a totally different approach, one that could change how AI is built and used forever. We're moving way beyond simple tools to something so much more powerful. Let's dive in. And this right here, this question is the absolute heart of everything we're talking about. We are for sure in an AI gold rush. But history has a pretty powerful lesson for us about who really walks away a winner in moments like these.
Exactly. It's the classic story, right? The real fortunes weren't made by the people chipping away at rocks. They were made by the folks who built the tools that made all that chipping possible. And guess what? This exact same dynamic is playing out in AI as we speak. And it's leading thousands of smart, ambitious people straight into what's being called the AI agency trap.
So let's break down this trap, because honestly, it's so easy to fall into, especially with all the hype out there right now. You've seen it. I know you have. Scroll through social media for 5 minutes, and some guru is promising you can make a fortune selling these super simple copy-paste AI automations to businesses. It sounds incredible, right? Easy money. But the reality of that model, well, it's not quite the gold mine they promise.
This is where the shiny promise starts to get real messy. Every single new client, that's a whole new manual setup. Oh, and you need to update the automation. You're doing that manually for every single client. It means you're stuck in that classic time for money trap. The only way to grow is to hire more people, which just adds more complexity. It's a business model that just doesn't scale.
Okay, so let's put this side by side because it makes it super clear. On one side, you have the agency model. That's panning for gold. It's tedious, one client at a time. But on the other side, you have the micro sauce model. You're not panning for gold anymore. You're selling the shovels. You build one central product, you push updates to everyone instantly, and you completely escape that time for money trap with scalable recurring revenue. So the real question is, how do you build the shovel factory?
Well, the answer is all about building on the right foundation. And that foundation has a name: an AI operating system. So what is an AI operating system, or AIOS? You got to think of it as a total game changer. It's a system that's built from the ground up to weave AI, especially these big, large language models, right into the very core of a computer. I mean, it's like giving your computer a brain, or maybe even a soul. Its whole job is to manage all the AI activity, figuring out who gets resources and coordinating all the different AI agents working at once.
To put it simply, the AIOS is the shovel factory. This is the platform that lets you build one amazing AI product and then sell it to thousands of customers. In the same way that Windows made it possible for anyone to build PC software, the AIOS could do the same exact thing for building with AI.
All right, so let's pop the hood and see what's actually inside one of these things. And don't worry, it's actually way more straightforward than it sounds.
At a high level, you can break it down into 3 main layers. Down at the bottom, you've got the hardware layer. That's your normal computer stuff, your CPU, GPU, all that. Then way up at the top, you have the application layer. That's where all the cool stuff you actually see runs, the AI agents, the apps themselves. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is right there in the middle, the kernel layer. That's the brain of the whole operation.
And the absolute heart of that middle layer is something called the LLM kernel. This thing is purpose-built, designed from scratch just to handle all the unique and frankly kind of crazy demands of running AI agents. It keeps all that AI work separate from your normal computer tasks, so everything stays fast, smooth, and efficient. The best way to think about the LLM kernel is like it has its own little management team. You've got an agent scheduler, which is like the air traffic controller for every AI task. There's a context manager, which is basically the AI's working memory, so it doesn't forget what you were just talking about. There's a tool manager that gives it a toolbox to connect to other apps in the internet. It even has its own memory managers and a security guard to make sure everything runs safely. The whole shebang.
Okay, so that's the how. Now for the really fun part. What can you actually do with this technology? This is where it gets really exciting. And this is a really critical distinction to make. We're not talking about your average chatbot that can only respond based on some pre-programmed API. No. These AIOS-powered agents can literally see a computer screen. They can understand an interface, they can click buttons, type into text boxes, drag and drop files, just like a person would. And that, my friends, opens up a universe of possibilities.
So check out some of these real-world examples from platforms that exist today, like WarmWindOS. You could have an AI agent that is your full-time social media manager, finding trends, writing posts, scheduling them. Or how about an agent that runs all of your Tier 1 customer support across email, live chat, and DMs? It can be an accounting bot that matches invoices, a recruiter that screens resumes, even a DevOps agent watching your servers 24/7. We're not talking about small tasks. These are entire roles.
And look, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this about replacing people? And the answer is a hard no. This is about liberation. It's about automating all the boring, repetitive, soul-crushing tasks so that we, the humans, can focus on what we're amazing at: high-level strategy, creativity, and solving the big, messy problems. It's about empowerment.
And if you think that's cool, you should see where this is all headed. If we look at systems on the horizon, like the vast AIOS, the vision gets even wilder. We're talking about agents that build long-term memories based on their experiences, agents that can discover and collaborate with other agents on their own. The end goal is a single, interconnected, global system for AI. This is where things start to feel less like a tool and more like a true living intelligence.
So at the end of the day, the real AI gold rush isn't about scrambling for those little flecks of gold in the pan. It's about building the entire mine. It's about owning the shovel factory. And that brings us to one last pretty wild thought. When this technology is all grown up, when your computer really truly has a soul, what's the very first thing you're going to ask it to do?